3 hours away and lives in a small town in southeast Missouri. And I said, what question? He goes, well, I have, I just don't know if I can build this. And I said, well, tell me what obstacles you would have. She goes, I'm blind. And I said, in the past, there may have been some struggles with that. I said, but with technology today, and I said, you obviously emailed me because you must have some technical skills, computer skills. You can get on the computer and work with that. And she said, yeah. And I said, well, to be honest with you, ma'am, I said, I don't see that as an obstacle. I said, with technology today, you have a lot of capabilities. You have communication skills. You can sell products. I said, the website's there for you. You don't have to deliver products. I said, there's a lot of opportunity here. I mean, you have that I don't think should be any type of a problem. She goes, sometimes that can be an issue for me. And I said, well, I understand that. And I said, what else? And she goes, well, I'm on disability. And I said, okay. And she goes, I make $700, I get $700 and some dollars a month. That's all I get. I live in an apartment, and I don't have a car, obviously, and I don't drive. I said, do you think I can build this? And I said, well, ma'am, I said, I've known people who lived in school buses that have built this. Okay, I've known people that had no money that have built this. I said, with the things that we have today and the resources we have today, I said, if you really want to pursue this, I said, you can do it. She said, oh. I said, any other questions that I could answer? And she goes, I've been thinking about starting a business, trying to do something, and she said, but I just don't, can you really for sure tell me that I can build this? And I said, ma'am, I said, I certainly know that you have obstacles in your life. You've had them for years. Is that right? And she goes, yeah. And I said, you've overcome, obviously, many things because of the obstacles that you had. And she said, that's right. And I said, our business is based on helping people get the things they want, helping you achieve your dreams. I said, if you have a dream, you haven't listed one thing there that will stop you from building this. Okay? Will there be some challenges because of those things? Absolutely. I said, but this business can change your life and your ability to do things that you never thought possible. She goes, I'll think about it. She said, can I call you back and see if that's something that I want to do? Or, if I decide I want to do that? And I said, absolutely, call me back. And I said, if there's any other questions I can answer, I'd be happy to answer them for you. Okay? Now, in my mind, I'm going, those are pretty tall hurdles. But in my mind, I'm also going, if the dream's big enough, the facts don't count. Here's somebody who's got a dream big enough to call somebody about a business that's blind, lives in a one-bedroom studio apartment in a town of about 2,000 people, it has $700 in income total. She doesn't have a car. She has to rely on other people to come take her places. She's blind. You start adding that up and you're going, wow, those would be some pretty stiff obstacles. But if the dream's big enough, those facts don't count. And I just applauded her. I mean, my first indication, and sometimes you get that attitude in this business of like, well, come on. Why, I mean, come on. But my heart's too big for that. My understanding of this business is too big for that. You can build this, ma'am. You can build this if you want to, and I'll help you. I'll do everything in my power to help you. Because it's not about me choosing who I want to have in my business. It's about who wants to be in my business. Because I'm giving them the hope and the dreams that they deserve. And I hope you're doing that for your group. I hope you're giving them the hopes and the dreams that they deserve. I hope you're reaching out to the people in your group and loving on them, believing in them. Words that Dexter always said. You know what Dexter always said was the most important 3 words in this business? You can do it. You can do it. Okay? You can do it. So as we walked through this, traversed this business, we have met people that have overcome challenges that are beyond belief because the dream was big enough. Okay? Because the dream was big enough. And just how big is your dream? Just how big is your dream? If you saw Jim Stovall at Ferry Enterprise, if he didn't reach into your heart and turn a key on, unbelievable. Unbelievable. If the dream is in here, if it's big enough, anything's possible. Dexter never once went to a seminar or a time when Dexter speaking that he ever taught one technique or how to do anything. Not one time. But I went to hours and hours and hours of the dream is big enough. The facts don't count. Same message over and over and over again. The dream's big enough. The facts don't count. You know, so as Terri and I built this business and developed friendships and relationships with your leaders, with other leaders, with business owners all over the world, we have been blessed by this opportunity. You have been blessed by this opportunity. You have. But where are you going to go tomorrow? Where are you going to go Monday? You know, you guys, you got to have a dream. You know, you got to have a dream. One of the things I always want to do, one of the things that on my dream list, on my bucket list, if you want to call it now, but on my dream list was I wanted to always have a classic car. And I just wanted to have one. I wanted to build it. You know, I wanted to build it. And, or have a lot to do with building it. You know, so a few years ago, I, finally found the right car to start with. It was totally trashed and had a good body though, but I mean, it needed totally restoration. So I bought this 66 Impala. Okay. So when I got done with it, there just kept being things it needed. So it ends up, it's got a 454 Corvette engine, board and deck to 468 cubic inches. It's got a Clay Smith aggressive street cam, Elderbrock Performer, dual plane aluminum intake. It's got a Holley 650 double pumper carburetor. It's balanced and blueprinted. It's got a Muncie M22 rock crusher transmission because it needs it. It's got a 10 3/4 Hayes clutch, 621 bell housings, 12-volt Powsty track with a 342 Richmond gears. It's got a roller chain, polished and ported over port heads, 10-to-1 Hypertech pistons. It's got Corvette power disc brakes, special head bolts, 7-quart oil pan, and it's also got energy suspension, and it's got seven coats of primer, blocked and sanded. It's got 5 coats of base, blocked and sanded, or sanded and wet sanded, 3 coats of clear, and you can shave in it. All right. Well, someday when you come through Nixa, give me a holler, because I'm always looking for somebody who wants to take a ride. Okay? Because it'll light them up first and second, and just keep right on ripping. And there's just nothing like pure horsepower. There's nothing like letting that baby rip. And she settles in, pulls down, the front end comes up, and she starts going sideways in the road. There's just nothing like it. Okay? And I know gals just going, what is he talking about? But it's just, you got to have a dream. You got to have something that I can't talk about that thing going. You're squatting in the back, front end coming up, she's going sideways in the road, smoking the tires, and there's just, I can't talk about it, my palms sweating. Well, my adrenaline getting high. And that's what you got to talk about when you're talking about your dream. You got to have it. You got to have it. Someday you got to have it. And that's what it's all about. So we've enjoyed being with you guys. It's been a great day. Rock and roll.
While the techniques and approaches suggested have worked for others, no one can guarantee that they will work for you. We sincerely hope, however, that the ideas presented will assist you in building a strong and profitable business. This is an independently published copyright program of IDA Distribution, Victoria, Australia. Unauthorised duplication is prohibited. Purchase is optional.